it's very hard to see there. And one of the images gripping viewers is the Firenado, which can be seen at times in lapse footage captured in California. And of course, our Fox Carolina meteorologist Bryan Bachman explaining the science behind all of this.
Yeah, Anna, it's something that you hear the word Firenado, you think science fiction. That can't be a real thing, but it is a very real phenomenon that unfortunately can develop when you get these extreme wildfires like they're seeing out in California. So to explain a little bit about how it works here, we got our wildfire setup here in the studio. And in some ways, it's almost a similar process to the way an actual tornado forms in a thunderstorm. What happens is when you get a strong enough wildfire that gets hot enough in a specific area, that heat naturally just starts to rise. But if it's condensed enough over a relatively small area, that can create a strong updraft similar to what would fuel a thunderstorm. Now, in the case of a Firenado, if that updraft, depending on how the winds around the wildfire are interacting with it, the winds around that updraft can eventually start to make it rotate as more heat kind of pumps into that fire and causes more and more air to kind of rise in. So what eventually can wind up happening is that the smoke and the flames that are part of that wildfire in that area, they kind of condense in toward the center of this circulation that develops near the ground, and the combination of smoke and flames eventually can become tall enough to basically become their own version of a tornado here. They can last several minutes to an hour in some cases, and the center of it, even like in cases with the Firenado that was seen around California yesterday, it looked mostly like a big wall of spinning smoke. There actually is flame, usually sometimes toward the center of that, and it can heat the center of these Firenados to as much as 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So a sci-fi sounding term, but a very real and very dangerous phenomenon that unfortunately can just make matters worse in an already bad situation out there in California. Hoping that they can get some rain, get some help from just Mother Nature as the firefighters try to knock that wildfire down. Back here at home, our weather going to be less extreme for the next couple days. We'll talk about our chances for storms and some heat coming our way. That's in a few minutes.